Welcome everyone to the Minions of the Zoo. It's the Tuesday edition. I'm your keeper, Skep, Tock, and with me I have Minions Prospero.
Hello.
Jenna.
Hola, Santorita. Or Santoritos.
Howdy.
Yeah, Johnny Hellcat. Hey,
good evening.
Who is not Prospero or Skep, but has a very suspicious looking avatar. And so
I did almost get camel with this one.
Bringing your Tuesday night avatar hijinks.
You keep doing that to him.
One of the things I wanted to just a housekeeping item before we go into tonight's show. We're going to go for an hour tonight. It might, I'm sure it'll flop over a little, but I don't want it to go over too much. And just want to try that format with the show and see if I like doing that better. And so starting tonight, we'll just be going an hour and we'll see how long we all like doing it that way. Anyway, Prospero, it seems like it's been a long time since I've talked to you. What have you been up to?
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Sorry. Why won't it go down? Okay, sorry.
That's what she said.
I was resisting.
I know. It was such a pregnant pause. I said, okay, if you're not going to do it, I'm going to do it.
I refused to say it. I absolutely refused to say it.
I got you covered.
I'm doing well, thank you. How are you, Skep?
It's got to go down to my best friend from high school came down to visit me, and we went down to see my dad together. We didn't plan for him to have a health emergency at the time. He will be 95 years old on Halloween. It's a great birthday.
Yeah, it is.
Always makes me think of Kefke for some reason. Anyway, he's had a little crisis. Give me a little too much fluid, and that causes him to go into congestive heart failure. And so they whisked him into the hospital and got him back to battery. And he's back out. He's back living in his apartment on his own. This 94-year-old man sitting there doing his dishes, just a rambling guy.
That's why he's one of the reasons he'll be 95 on Halloween.
Yeah, here's hoping. But anyway, so that was fun to go down and do that. And this guy and I were such great friends in high school, and close with the family. So that did wonders for Dad's.
He must have loved to see him.
Oh yeah, we're all guitar players, and we brought the guitars down and sang old songs for Dad, and he thought that was great. So it was big fun. So we did that. That was what I did. I showed my friend John the Alamo, and like virtually everybody who goes to the Alamo, you go, that's a clip joint. That's pretty touristy, even by tourist standards. Yes, it is. So another unsatisfied
customer
from the Alamo.
Yeah, they ought to just put that thing they call Plymouth Rock right next to it and go here.
Yeah, Plymouth Rock is very much the same
idea. Here you go. The pebble and the set from a John Wayne movie. Oh God,
it's just. But anyway, that's Texas. Being Texas, the old Alamo Fort is still down there in central San Antonio. So we went down and looked at that. So what have you been doing for fun, Prospero?
Sitting on the front porch waving at people going by.
Warning them off your lawn?
Well, no. But, it's amazing how many people who are in the trades and stuff are surprised that homeowners might wave at them. I guess they're kind of used to being glared at, or I don't know, or ignored.
That's one thing I liked about living in a smaller town is you can just wave to someone and they're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?"
Yeah.
Like, here you wave at someone, they're like, "Is there an emergency?" Or is it like, "Yeah, I don't trust that guy."
Yeah, it's a little bit.
Everybody knows your name.
Speaking and saying hello to people, and they look shocked. It's like
when James and I are on our walks, we always say hi to people walking by. Some of them say hi back or give a little wave, and some of them look like we're serial killers and they're running for their lives.
Yeah, that's always struck me as very peculiar when people are just like, I tried something because it is kind of true that people in the South are a tiny bit friendlier than people in the North, and I noticed this
not a high bar,
and not really, but the and Virginia is weird because we're both now. Northern Virginia has
Northern Virginia has seceded from Virginia.
Yeah, you
need another state. We need another state.
Yeah, it can be called Shitstania, because God Almighty, who would live up there? But the
so you're saying it should be called Skidmark, Virginia?
That would work. Absolutely would work. But the problem is that blight is spreading. We should have built a wall at the Occoquan River a long time ago, and we didn't. So now we're going to have to build it at the Rappahannock and say, no, you don't get to move any farther south.
Ask the Obamas. Walls work.
Yeah. It's Jesus God. But because what I remember doing is walking down the sidewalks in Boston and making eye contact and saying hi to people. And watching them just stare at me like I were Medusa.
They still do that.
It was,
of course, if they stared at you like you were Medusa, they would be turned to stone.
Oh, I understand that if in the strict sense of the metaphor, yes, and that would have been delightful too, since they had, just God, pull the pickle out of your ass for God's sake.
It's why we're
grumpy fucks. Well, no, I mean yes.
And tourists that shouldn't be in Massachusetts.
Well, the tourists were the rude ones that I ran into in New York, not the people who lived in the city. Now, of course, that was during the new renaissance of the 90s in New York, where like places were safe and everything.
The Giuliani years, yes.
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing.
The Giuliani dividend.
Oh, the attitudinal dividend in Manhattan was extraordinary. People were like guys hauling grocery deliveries and stuff into stores would say, "Excuse me." It was so cute. Oh,
that's Macy.
Hi, Macy.
Frank.
Hi, Macy.
Somebody's animal spoke.
Yep.
The ever elusive one too, which is actually kind of a miracle.
Have you ever seen Kitchen Nightmares with Amy's Bacon Company?
Oh, yeah.
She speaks cat. Meow, meow, meow. And is psychotic.
No, she speaks flaming cunt.
Oh
that woman.
What in the world are you talking about?
Oh my God.
I am sending you the episode. I can't do it right now.
What is this about?
It's one of Gordon Ramsay's kitchen nightmares.
Yeah. And this woman is... She
the husband
doesn't allow... Sammy, he's a gangster. And don't
Gordon
you forget
Ramsay is the blonde guy who yells at people and calls them stupid sandwiches and stuff?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay,
he calls the French... Never mind, I can't say what he calls the French. But because he's Scottish, he calls the French really fun names. All
right. Well, anyway, moving around the table a bit, just to find out how people's weeks have gone. Harry, how was your week?
Oh gosh, how was my week? It is going reasonably well. I solved a few more puzzles, since basically that's all I am, is a primate that has opposable thumbs and solves puzzles for a living.
Advanced pattern recognition.
Advanced pattern recognition.
So
idiot mitigation department, Harry speaking.
Yeah, being careful not to use words on my CV so people can find me. I've been trying to unravel this extremely complicated set of software components, and I found no less than 3 places where these idiots who put this system together hide information between runs. That if you then change something, then it says, no, that's good. I've already looked at this. I can just proceed with my old assumptions forever.
Right.
And that causes things to break.
Oh, gee. Is this all proprietary code?
No, it's all open source stuff. And what's beautiful is they actually put one of the files that caches information under, I kid you not, user local bin.
No, they did not do that. They did not put
Yes,
that in the
they
binary
did.
directory.
Yes, they did.
Even I know that's dumb.
They created a config file and put it in user local bin.
Oh my. Oh my.
I showed Harry your pretty I showed Cree Harry your pretty picture, and he went, "Oh, ew." You know.
Did you do a creepy voice with your picture?
No, it's not that kind of picture.
No, it wasn't that.
No. It was a code listing.
With the most amazingly weird
log file.
patterns of gaps in it, Jenna.
Yeah.
It was very, very pretty in a strange way, like magnetic filings can be moved into a picture, except that's not what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah.
Well, now I have to see this. Will you send it to me?
It was
I can
like
show it to you later.
it was like Nigel had gnawed holes through data.
I missed my programming class.
Yeah. But I did solve some things that were hard to solve and talked to some customers today. And I mean, overall, things are going reasonably well. Unfortunately, California is looking forward to... it's been absolutely gorgeous weather for weeks. I mean, even by California standards, it's been gorgeous. But we're going to get shitty heat coming up.
Oh,
so it's sort of one
of
those. Yeah, it's sort of one of those.
It's going to get into the 80s?
Well, we're not. No, high 90s.
Oh, you have your AC?
So you're going to catch fire again.
Yeah, everything's going to catch fire, and it's all gonna go up in flames. But no, it's just sort of like you plan ahead. It's like I'm baking a loaf of bread. Why run the heat when I can have sandwiches? Just a little bit of planning ahead, and you just kind of get into the rhythm of it. Except for the people that don't pay any attention to the weather, and then they just run around going, it's really hot, and I don't know what to do, and I don't want to try. It's like, you're an idiot. Just look at the weather forecast, and if you know it's going to be hot for 4 or 5 days, just make some food in advance and put it in the fridge.
Well, isn't
Harry,
it?
Go ahead, Prospero.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, isn't it 'tis the season though? September is usually
fire season or is it smoke season. Yeah.
Well, and it's usually when the Santa Anas would kick up in the south, and when the heat would build in the central coast, and when San Francisco would get unfoggy. Everybody told me the single best time to visit San Francisco was in September.
Yeah.
Because you were not going to get cold, damp weather.
Well, if you pay attention, they have these, like in Silicon Valley, they have these big outdoor nasty cockroaches. The ones that don't want to be in your house, the big ugly ones that live outside, and they're kind of this dark brown color.
Kind of like palmetto bugs in the south.
And they're just gross and... Anyway, I try to run over them on my motorcycle sometimes because I'm a dick.
But good eating though.
When I see those little bastards running around at night, you know that it's going to be hot the next day.
Yeah.
You just know because you see that. That's like clue number 1. Clue number 2 is you wake up at 6 in the morning. It's like, oh shit, there's no fog. This is gonna suck.
Yeah.
This is gonna suck hard. But speaking of things that suck, I bought a better vacuum sealer for food. So I actually made up, I think it was almost 4 quarts of mashed potatoes.
Really?
And I put them all in the vacuum sealer and figured, okay, here's a good sized portion of mashed potatoes, like 13 ounces. So I was using this new vacuum sealer, and it's a thing of joy. Those food saver things are crap.
Yes, they are. Would you please send me the link to this?
I'll happily send you the link.
And to me, actually, Brenda and I are looking for a food evaporator or a food, preserver type of thing, and wanting to go a little bit higher end with it.
Oh, this thing is
something
absolutely
you
brilliant.
like. I would like to see it.
This thing is brilliant because unlike the Food Saver where it's shit, you have to use their stupid
we've already
proprietary
gone down that road,
bags. They're terrible, and the bags are like 30 cents a piece for those.
I know.
I can get like a thing with 250 bags for, I don't know, $16 or something. It's
so essentially free.
It's essentially free by comparison. And so I made up a bunch of things of mashed potatoes and had them nice and flat. These things look like if you had bought them at the store with a cardboard thing around them and opened it up and pulled this pouch out, you'd say that looks like something that was made, by professionals. It doesn't look homemade.
That's the level that I want.
Harry,
I will hook you up.
Thank you,
Did
man.
you send it to everyone else? Will you send it to me too?
I think I'll just put the link in the chat.
Don't you post it? Why don't you just post it in chat? Exactly.
And I'll stop talking because I don't want to use
Harry,
the entire hour.
will you please send it to me anyways? Because I'll never find it in the chat and never ever. You've known me long enough to know. Just send it.
No, it's just a thing. I will happily do it, but it's I do like to cook stuff and then put stuff aside in the freezer. So, mashed potatoes, macaroni and cheese, rice, chili. I make a really good chili. It's sort of my California take on Texas chili. It's an abomination by your standards, Skep, but it's really good.
You'd be surprised.
So I like to put stuff I like to make up a bunch of stuff, put it in the freezer, and I hand stuff out to my friends, and it does make you popular. If you feed people, it's amazing. Just like pets, if you feed your friends, they keep coming back too.
Mm-hmm.
I feed my kids and they keep coming back.
Yeah, well, yeah.
One thing would be curious about in your chili recipe. Do you ever use black beans instead of pinto beans?
My chili recipe has 0 beans of any kind. It is
Okay,
all meat and no filler.
I make a no meat chili too. But do you make
beans
classic chili? Do you make a beanful chili as well, or do you only make the meat?
I only make the meatful chili, and I'm trying to be as classic as possible, going back to the original Texas Tex-Mex recipe, with the ground chilies toasted and no filler. Although I actually do like the taste of masa, so I will sometimes I will intentionally give it a bit of a Frito pie spin, especially if I've got some southwestern chilies or something, and I'll make a slightly different chili, which is more like a Frito pie thing. But if I'm making chili, I make super traditional 200-year-old Texas chili.
Beef only.
And if I want to adulterate it, I can make a California version of it. But I don't even want to insult your taste buds by telling you what's in that.
Don't you have ulcer issues?
Well, now see, the thing is some Texans don't shit themselves over beanful chili, and some do.
Well, my recipe goes back to Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Well, my mother always made stupid recipe called chili con carne, which it's like
that's what my mother made too. God, did we have the same mother?
Yeah, and it was like, isn't that a little redundant? It's because now granted it's chiles con carne, but it would be carne con chiles if you were legit about
really
it.
Doing
and it has kidney beans
properly district.
It has kidney beans in it.
Yep.
It actually is very good if you balance up the seasonings in it. It was very mild. What I experienced was very mild. And then I was like, this needs hot chili.
As I understand it, the beans were introduced to reduce the meat requirement.
Yeah.
So they would carry the flavor.
Yes.
Because the beans have fat in them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they carry the flavor and fill you up, give you plenty of protein, and not as expensive as meat. As I understand it, that's why beans.
Yes.
I read that a long time ago.
It's a poor man's chili.
Yeah,
because
chili with beans is poor man's chili, right?
And it you get more out of a batch, and that way, you can feed more people. And it's, I mean, it always had kidney beans in it. Nobody used pinto beans in my family. They use kidney beans.
Yeah.
And I still make
that's
it with...
That's the Mexican influence down here.
I still make it with kidney beans.
Yeah.
I don't have...
I love it with kidney beans. Kidney beans and black beans is actually my favorite. If I'm going to put beans in those, that's what I put in there.
Yeah. And I mean, I love beans. The only bean I don't like is the garbanzo bean. Because I just don't think it has much flavor. It's kind of like eating paste to me. So it's kind of like meh. But I mean, black eyed peas.
It's never a star of any dish.
I could eat. Yeah, unfortunately, it is hummus.
Well, no, but hummus is a flavor carrier. The beans are there. Yes, they are the pudding, but it's the flavors that are in the hummus that make it interesting. Hummus by itself is a bit boring.
I really don't like hummus. I've had hummus that I can eat, but most hummus I'm like, blah, the minute I taste it. I don't know whether it's the tahini, although I've had honeyed tahini and chocolate tahini, and I liked both of them.
So is it that you're disenchanted with James Veitch? Yeah, that's a deep call out of the James Veitch variety right there. You got to know who he is and why hummus is involved. Anyway, all right. Well, let me get to Johnny and see how his day was, and then I'm going to circle back with Jenna, and then we'll open up the floor because somebody important died today, and I want to talk a little bit about that. But Johnny, how was your day?
My day wasn't too bad. I'm more nervous for tomorrow.
Why?
I am going in technically for surgery, as I've been posting.
Finally going to do the sex change.
It is just a vasectomy, so I am. I'm not going to anything major. But
so we can call you numbnuts tomorrow.
You have kids, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're
going to be called ice nuts tomorrow.
Yeah. Okay. Now, when they tell you to ice your bits,
do that.
Listen to them, because
also,
we have a friend
I have all of the ice packs.
Okay, and also get some frozen peas and frozen corn, because those, when they loosen up, they can move around a little bit better than some ice packs can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they contour.
Yeah, they contour.
Yeah, that's what they said was get frozen peas. That's exactly what
they contour brilliantly. Frozen peas and corn are two of the best ice packs out there because of their ability to contour. Because I know somebody that did not ice like they were told to, and they paid the price because they got really swollen.
But I'm all right. I'm going to tell on myself. I'm going to tell a little bit about my vasectomy story. After one of my divorces, I decided to get a vasectomy, and because I'd already had kids and I didn't want to invite any more children into the world. And so I called up my doctor, and he said, "Yeah, I just had my surgical chair." You know, he was a young doctor, just freshly board certified and in family practice. And he said, "Yeah, I just got my surgery chair. You know, you'll be one of the first people in it." He didn't tell me, so I showed up at his office for the procedure, and he gives me a Valium out in the waiting room. Just says, "Let this take effect about half an hour. We'll get you on back." And I said, "So, you know," they led me into the office, and they kept leading me farther and farther back until we got to the storeroom. The surgery chair had not been installed yet, so he did the surgery in a storeroom. I got my balls disconnected in a storeroom.
Isn't that great? You got
it's just awesome. Plus,
shaving a bass cut.
He let me watch up close and personal. So I took the vulture looking over the top position. and they showed me, man, they teased out all these blood vessels, you know, and we were talking about which blood vessels they were. It was the last week that his nurse was there helping him because his nurse was about to start medical school at University of Colorado. He was really squared away nurse, really good guy, male nurse, but he was about to go to medical school. And these two were a riot. Of us had a blast. I was stoned on Valium making jokes, and they were trying to do their job and not laugh too hard. It was a party. And then I went home, and boy, I iced the boys like they told me to. Mm-hmm. And they said, do that for 3 days. Don't not do that for 3 days. Do that for 3 days. So 2.5 days in, right? I think I'm out the door. Don't need to put any more ice on. Don't need to keep ice on there this afternoon. And about half an hour later, someone down there began talking to me. You better get some ice on you. I'll kill you. And let me tell you, that will get your attention in a hurry. So when they say ice, I'm really not kidding. Be assiduous about it, and it's 3 full days. I promise you. I can also report that everything works correctly afterwards.
It's
the baby making part.
Now, can I tell Johnny the most important part?
Sure.
Well, one, it takes a little while to take effect, so remember that unless you want to. Oops. Second, go back and make sure that you're shooting blanks. Biggest mistake men make, they don't go back and make sure it worked. And then they end up with 3 more children.
That's like 2 months later. They recommend, I think.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you're shooting blanks if you're gonna.
I think from what the doctor's assistant said, the receptionist, they want to visit in 30 days, and then another one, I think, in 60, and then another one in 90.
Yeah, because they'll want at least 1, if not 2 samples. Only because I was merciless to Cree. I was absolutely merciless to him. I literally did, walking down the hallway, say, because I drove him, and we weren't married yet. He did this preempt because we knew we weren't going to have kids, and oh God, he was like, you bitch. Because I looked at him and I said, well, it's the only time I really, really can say this to you. How you doing? I'm nuts. And he was just like, you're a laugh riot. But, I saw to it that he had the peas and the frozen corn and was rotating them for him and that kind of stuff. And the guy that was our best man, that pinhead, was like, oh man, it's not going to be that bad. The swelling and bruising he had, his whole groinal region was like a wreck for a week because he didn't follow their instructions.
Yep.
And
they get real big. They get the size of softballs.
Yeah.
Just so you know, or baseballs at least, and even softballs. And you find out how elastic some of the skin in your body is if you have to do that. And I understand it's most unpleasant.
And you're glad they shaved it, because that probably would have destroyed the elasticity to some extent.
You could just rock me to sleep tonight.
Well, no, sweetie. As long as you follow, that's the only reason we're admonishing you.
Yeah.
Just do not be a knucklehead. Follow their instructions.
They mentioned like supportive underwear, which I mean, like, I can't find anything that isn't like extremely comfortable. But I do have some underwear that will allow for space, I guess, would be the.
As I understand it, there are 2 camps. Those who like support and those who don't touch me. Mm-hmm. And so you'll find out what you are when the stuff wears off.
It's like sweatpants and frozen peas.
Yeah, I had to wear a jockstrap throughout my recovery. It's just the way it was. and it's a jock strap with an ice pack in it. It's something. It is an interesting way to spend 72 hours. But anyway, enough about that.
You didn't make
Jenna, how was
popcorn.
your day? How was your day, Jenna?
I got my Botox for my migraines,
Cool.
Yay.
which Johnny's little thingy is helping so greatly. Thank you. Yeah, that sounded really bitchy of me. Sorry, Johnny.
Your little thingy isn't what you think it might be. It's your avatar.
Well, I'm really glad it's not my little thingy.
I'm glad you got it down.
Oh,
Sorry, had to
Christ
do it.
almighty.
That's fine.
My kids have decided shirts are useless and are running around outside. Not now, they're asleep. But the little boys are running around outside shirtless because I got a sunburn when I went to Maine. So Mommy doesn't wear suntan lotion. Why do I have to? And why do I have to wear a shirt? Mommy got sunburned. So those little shits learned from me. And I had a great time in Maine. I don't think I talked about that.
That's the important part.
Well, tell us about Maine. Remember the Maine for us.
So we went to Old Orchard Beach. It was just Jamie, Lauren, and I just sent actually Prospero a bunch of pictures. And Lauren, it sucks at picking out cabins, but we didn't know the TV didn't work until about midnight that night because we were just laughing and talking and having a great time. And I had the best clam linguine I ever had.
Did you stay up there?
Yeah, we stayed at this. It was a hotel. Well, it was an inn, but it had 5 cabins, and somehow we got a cabin. So it was 2 bedrooms and then a couch in the living room that pulled out, and which worked because Jamie and I are both so sick that it was good that we had a place to go, shut the door, and
Gotcha.
I did have a very scary experience. We were at the boardwalk, and all of a sudden it felt like my bones, my rods were trying to come through my bones. My head was on fire. Everything hurt to the point where I'm not a crier, and I don't cry and usually complain about my pain. I know you guys probably think I complain all the time, but
no, nobody thinks that.
If I complained about how much pain I was in, you'd be amazed. But I was in tears crying from this pain, and I didn't understand it because it was a pain I never felt before. And the car we had to walk to, I'm so glad we didn't take the trolley because that was our other option instead of taking the car. And I was doing when I'm in a lot of pain, it looks like I'm walking on stilts because I guess I technically am. I finally just booked it. I walked as fast as I could, bawling, and I got to the car and I took drugs.
Good girl.
But
you do drugs, Danny? Sure do.
I then had a panic attack because I didn't understand this pain. And of course, the meds didn't kick in. So I called up James, not my friend Jamie, and I said, I think I'm going to die. I'm pretty sure I'm dying. I don't know what's wrong with me.
What was it? What was this?
So from what we can put together, I had spent the day before on the night before, we spent a little while on the beach on Old Orchard Beach, and then we went in and had a great talk and laughed, and Then we went back to the beach, and I only stayed out there for 45 minutes and ended up cooked. And I had a fight with a seagull. It's just something I do.
Okay.
I couldn't get into the water. I knew I wasn't safe in the water. So I just fought with a seagull.
But anyhow, as far as the health thing,
Well, we think, and then with the sun and everything, I ended up with a migraine. So I took a migraine pill. I had that on me, plus the sunburn that I don't sunburn to the extent, because I'm not out. I wear long sleeves and stuff when I go outside because I sunburn so easy now. I used to never sunburn. Plus walking on the sand, the migraine, the fact that I hadn't had really any food. I was still on my antibiotics.
mm-hmm.
And then, so stairs are easier for me to walk than a straight ramp. Ramps are horrible. And there were only ramps on the boardwalk, and I had to do 2 of them, and my knee cracked. So they think all that put together, of course, the migraine medicine makes you a little woozy, and then the sand uneven, and then walking. From what
stress,
John said, plus the sunburn added more pain that I wasn't used to. John, who's a doctor, said that it was most likely my bones trying to get out of my body because I had put them through something they hadn't experienced all in one day, and that I should have gone to the ER. It was that bad. But
we're glad that you're here with us tonight.
Well, there's a happy ending.
Oh, good. And the happy ending is?
So Jamie was able to talk me down from I'm gonna die in freaking Old Orchard Beach in this cabin that is scary.
There are worse obits written though, dear. You know, just saying.
What?
I said there are worse obits that have been written, just saying.
The first thing before I even took my pain medicine, I took my Seroquel to calm me down. I had forgotten my Klonopin. Big mistake. And so after about an hour and a half, everything kicked in, and I was able to sit down finally and be a normal person who wasn't hysterically crying because it was scary.
Yeah, and I think you just maxed yourself out, and your body said, "Ha."
My body was so just pissed at me. I got home and I slept for 4 days straight.
I bet you did. Well, you were also coming off of pneumonia, Jenna, so it's no big surprise.
I will tell you, it was worth it though. That trip,
to see Jamie. To see Jamie in particular. I think that's really wonderful that you got a chance to go. For people who don't know, Old Orchard Beach is between Portland and Kennebunkport on the Maine coast. It's an old standby, kind of well-known resort beach.
A lot of the time we just stayed in the cabin and talked, and it was just so nice. I was like, when did we get old?
No, that's a typical girls' weekend. Once you're past 30, I'd say.
When did we get old?
I know, really.
We didn't know the TV didn't work.
Yeah.
That's how much fun we were having.
Well, that's important. You know, to not need a damn TV is a great way to spend a weekend with friends.
Yeah, Saturday.
All right.
Guy knocks on the door.
I think it's time for some comedy, and I have set up here. Let's see if I do it right. All right, good. I want to share something that will make you laugh, and I think this is probably about the next Democratic candidate for president of the United States. And in terms of that, yeah, this is quite serious, dead serious, really. And let's see. Let's go to share this. You share the screen. You share system audio because this requires listening as well. And we go to window and we go to
the anticipation is palatable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Oh, fuck. That's sacrilegious. Is evil.
Let's. There it goes.
Ah.
I know what she's saying.
Can't hear it, but I can.
I can hear it, but I can't hear it.
I know.
I can't hear
We
it.
came, we saw, he
We
died.
died. We came, saw, we died. Yeah.
Jeffrey was my fault. No.
She's just a rotten bitch. Goddamn, Harry. I just took a look at that vacuum sealer.
Yeah, that's the new model. I got the last of the old model, I think, for like 350 something. At 500 something, the value proposition isn't quite as good.
No, it isn't.
But you want something more like that and not like one of those chintzy home things.
You know,
I
I
think
can
if you
never
look
see why she
around-
wasn't 50 points below in the polls.
Yeah.
That's who's running. That's who's running.
You think that's who's going to run this time, huh?
I
Hillary?
almost guarantee it. It is their only chance to win. I really think that is their only chance. They'll see that. They'll see that we don't have, Pete Buttigieg is not going to inspire crossover voters.
Mhm.
He just won't. Hillary Clinton will get the never Trumpers. Buttigieg will not. And that's what I really think that's what this thing will go on. I think she's going to be their candidate.
Have you seen her recently?
Yes.
I think that she has become even more unlikable, and I'm trying to be as objective about this as possible.
Yes.
Everything that torpedoed her last time is going to torpedo her longer and harder this time.
From your lips to God's ear. She is unlikable, but if she could just manage her campaign a little better than she did, how hard is it to keep dirt out of the press 2 weeks before the election?
And
It's not hard at all. Sorry, good.
I'm going to give her the same bit of advice that I gave her in 2016. When you thought you were in the lead, shut the fuck up.
Johnny, you're not a Hillary supporter, are you?
No, but I every time she would say something, I'm just like, you need to stop fucking talking.
She can't. She cannot. That is the thing. You know the times that we all wanted Trump to shut the fuck up?
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like when he opens his mouth.
Yeah. Well,
in my case, I'm not a big. I don't like Trump that much.
Yeah, nor do I. But I like what I liked about Trump is all the right people hated him, and he upset them so much. If you know what I mean. He just
Yeah.
upset them so much that I enjoyed 4 years of their insanity because I hate being that way, that it was just like all one giant meme party.
Yeah.
But it really was
But it
one
was.
giant awesome meme party, and I hated to see it come to an end because now a worse meme is occurring. But
But Trump did
Trump got
good.
some decent shit done too.
The sex trafficking in Georgia.
Oh, and in Ohio, I mean, there were a number of rings that were busted. I mean, really, it's enough to make you think that that was the thing that was upsetting them.
Let me just.
What he did for the
I
military.
wanted to go back and explain why I think one of the things that I think is leading to her running. I just think the Cosmos demands a rematch. And I think it's going to be Trump and Hillary. You wait and see. I think it's going to be Trump versus Hillary. I think it's going to be a very interesting time to be an American.
Not really.
I think we need someone younger.
I didn't say pleasant. I said interesting.
I can't live through that again.
Swimming in crocodiles while being covered in shit is not what I consider interesting. I don't, I would pay money to see somebody like DeSantis face Hillary because he would.
I like DeSantis a lot.
She'd lose her temper at him. With Trump, she can scoff and go, insurrectionist.
DeSantis says the right things. DeSantis says the right things.
Yeah.
What do you think about his political skills? Because I don't think he's perfect.
I don't think he's polished enough yet.
Oh, I don't think he's perfect by any stretch of the imagination.
When I say perfect, I'm kind of saying I think he's deficient. I don't think he's ready for national office.
I think he's one gaffe away from going Howard Dean's route.
Yes.
Yep.
I can potentially, except he's got so much more potential than Dean ever had. I don't
Dean who?
Howard Dean.
Howard. Yeah, Dean.
Yeah.
Oh
my God, that was the most insane thing I've ever seen.
When was this?
It was after the what primary was that? It was some primary. Some primary night.
It was 2000. It was for the 2000 race, I think. I think it was the Gore. Well, no, Gore was kind of the. Was it 2004?
2004.
Thank you. It was 2004 when they hadn't decided who who was going to be the heir apparent in the Democrat Party, and we ended up with the Kerry candidacy.
At an energetic rally on the evening of January 19th, 2004, Democratic presidential hopeful Howard Dean emits a noise that
made dogs cry.
Ended his career in electoral politics. The Dean scream, as it quickly became to be known, was a unique and revealing moment in early 21st century American politics. Former 3-term governor of Vermont, Dean was seen as the candidate of the left and was the only Democrat who openly criticized the Iraq War in his campaign for the party's nomination. He was considered a front-runner despite conservatives' attempts to depict his campaign as a left-wing freak show, which is what it was. But finished third in the Iowa caucuses. And despite losing the first contest of the primary to John Edwards and eventual winner John Kerry, Dean took the stage that night with enthusiasm, and he ended his remarks by fervently cataloging the contest yet to come, concluding with a shout of, "And then we're going to Washington, D.C. to take back the White House. Yeah!" And his voice cracked on the final yeah, turning the word into a bizarre yelp that was broadcast, and before long, replayed hundreds of times on news programs all over.
It sounded like somebody goosed him. It was hilarious.
It was his please clap moment.
Yeah, it really was.
Please clap. It was Dukakis in the
the helmet
in the tank
with the little helmet bobbing on. Oh God,
that's the yell you make when you're getting a physical.
Yeah, yeah, or stepping on a Lego. It was semi tragic. When you think about the people that have run in some of the primaries, that was like we have a morality problem primary because of John Edwards and
Oh my God.
and John Kerry both. Because
but John Edwards is an amoral man. I mean,
He is someone that
Kerry's an asshole, but John Edwards is evil. Don't you think?
he's pretty shitty.
Um,
Kind of like
he had
Hunter
another family.
Biden shitty. You know,
Yeah.
when you're banging your dying brother's wife or
Oh, God.
dead brother's wife. Yeah. That's normal.
But why doesn't anyone ever hold the wife responsible?
Well, no,
I'm sorry, she's not.
Yes, but also she was the individual who was in the most vulnerable emotional position. But yes, but at the same time, I'm not going to defend Hunter Biden, Jenna.
No, I don't want to defend. I don't think Hunter Biden.
They're all trash.
They are. Let me tell you, when Ricky died, I didn't go and screw JT.
Yeah, I know you didn't. And this is the way it's normal people don't do things like that. Okay. Maybe they do. I don't know. I guess there is no such thing as normal, but in my experience of life, that's not that's not the norm.
That's against the rules.
Well, it's gross. Yes. It's classless. It's tacky. And it's sick. So yeah, it's against the rules. But it's the kind of thing, like, I don't give a shit what people do in their private lives. I mean, I don't want to police it. I don't want the state to be involved in it, but I can have an opinion on it. And my opinion is, ooh, those people are trash. Don't have anything to do with them.
And I remember I was talking over with a coworker of mine at the time, and he brought up the $200 haircut, and I'm like, "That's your problem with John Edwards?"
John Edwards was someone who.
Oh my God! I mean, his wife is dying of cancer, and he
has another family.
Well, he has needs.
I don't.
Come on,
John. Meet your right hand or left. I don't remember which hand was dominant.
How's he supposed to save the country if he's distracted by the needs, very real needs?
Oh yes, he had a sexual emergency. This is what we're reduced to, right? You know, you can rape little boys in swimming pools because you had a sexual emergency. You might as well just start another family because you had a sexual emergency.
No.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice if Ted Cruz could just be 50% less creepy?
Yes, if he would stop looking like the cross between one of those pissy pastors who's actually diddling the boys
and the Unabomber.
It would be nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, I know you got tired of people comparing you to Bob's Big Boy, but I don't know if I don't know if the beard is really the right answer, the right antidote to that.
Yeah. I mean, because he kind of went from the Zodiac Killer to the Unabomber, and he's heading toward Grizzly Adams. So it's not. And you know, the thing about Ted Cruz is he's actually he's a pretty funny guy. I mean, he can be funny
when he keeps the creepy in check. He can be funny.
But you know, truthfully, he's one of the smartest people in Congress. I kid you not. You look at that guy's resume. He did it the hard way, and he did it thoroughly. He is as excellent a student of the law. You talk about somebody who probably ought to be in the Supreme Court.
Yes,
he certainly has the chops to get it done.
Yeah,
if he wanted to be.
Oh, absolutely. As far as his capability, he's so good in Senate hearings. I have so thoroughly enjoyed him when.
But I don't trust him. I would never vote for him for president. He scares the shit out of me.
Ted Cruz.
Yeah, he just reminds me of the sleazy TV preachers. There is something scoldy about
vindictive is the word you're looking for.
Well, yeah, I am the Lord thy God, and I'm going to get your ass back.
Bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's
God
kicking
is
sand
coming
and
in
whose
Boise
face
Kiss.
now?
Yeah,
Right.
it's a huge disappointment to me. You know who I wish we could have somehow or another kept alive through cyborgdom or something, because I would thoroughly enjoy his take on all this nonsense. Fred Dalton Thompson.
Oh yeah.
I miss him because you can talk about another brilliant.
Who?
Fred Dalton Thompson. He was not only an actor, but a senator
from Tennessee.
He was also Howard Baker's lead counsel on the Watergate Committee.
Oh, so he was in
And
the
many other things. If you start
Yes.
poking into that guy's life, he did everything.
His
and
legal
and
career
seemed to do it well.
was amazing. And then he said, you know what? I've always liked acting. I want to be an actor. So he was on Law and Order playing the DA for I don't know how many seasons.
Yeah, he had a lot of gravitas.
I think
So
two
he
or
pulled it off.
three.
Yeah, it was a great. I mean, he and Waterston interacted brilliantly. It was always a pleasure to watch scenes that man was in. And then he decided that the country, his state called, and he answered their call, and he went into the Senate for a term, and he had the displeasure of having to deal with the Rose Law Firm investigation with Hillary Clinton. And when the day after, basically the subpoena expired on the law firm records, they magically found them, and he basically said that was it. I can't deal with an environment in which no one
is honest.
is honest. It's just not. I can't.
I couldn't either.
This is just beyond the pale. This and the fact that no one seems to care or notice or say anything. The world had changed quite significantly. The Watergate hearings were quite contentious, and there were always some publicity-hungry Democrats who were trying to score points because of how much they hated Richard Nixon. But there was at least an air of civility about them, and that's long gone in the halls of Congress. Long gone.
See, I believe you respect the office. You don't have to respect the person. But Joe Biden has kind of rained on my...
It's tough to do, ain't it?
He's shaking hands with ghosts. What he did in Afghanistan...
One of them's named Banquo.
What he did in Afghanistan, hurt me to the soul.
It hurt everybody to the soul, Jenna.
It hurt.
Killed 13 people.
It killed many more.
At least, yeah.
that.
I mean that we could account for it that day.
Yeah,
right.
13 we know about that day.
Yeah.
He struck a family.
So
And anything Obama can do, I can do better.
I know that's supposed to work.
Oh, Obama's running the show. We all know it. He said it.
Oh
in
no,
an
Obama's
interview.
not this incompetent. It's some of his little it's the people.
yeah, it's
that,
the Susan Rice show.
This is
what you're
yeah,
watching is Ron Klain
Jill-
and Susan Rice running place. Yeah.
Susan Rice, and Jill
And a few
Biden.
others.
And Jill
I
Biden.
think Jill Biden should be in. I don't know how you punish somebody for this, but for elder abuse, what she wanted to be first lady,
Uh-huh.
so let
He
me
should-
take my
he should've-
dementia husband out and parade him around. And
Yep, we see it every time he's
did you
out.
see
there.
him put on a
Really,
jacket?
he
Yes.
should have made her Surgeon General,
Yes, he should
as
have.
was
Okay,
suggested.
doctor. I'm sorry, I did not address her. Dr. Jill
Dr.
Biden.
Joe Biden. Yeah, Dr. Joe Biden.
That's
And
Dr.
she's a
Lady
hell of a
Mc-
doctor.
That's
Hell of a
Dr.
doctor.
Lady
I
Macbeth.
just,
Dr. Macbeth.
I mean, it is. She is the malignant force behind the weak man.
Screw your courage to the sticking
I
place,
know
huh?
I'm the
Mhm.
one here that I like Trump. I didn't care about his thing.
I want to
but
see the out damn spot speech though. That's the part
Definitely.
I'm looking forward to.
I was not the
Lame
forever
stuff.
Trumpers, those people that thought he could do no wrong. I never got those people. I never
No.
got the people that hated him.
Yeah, I just call balls and strikes. Oh my dear God, Harry.
Is that the guy on?
What
Where is that?
It's a tiny
What?
Hillary riding
It's
a
a
bike.
tiny little
Oh
Hillary
my
bot.
gosh!
It's
That's
Robo
cute.
Hillary.
But
Yeah.
There needs to be a tiny little Fauci on a bike.
Fauci resigned.
He is retiring at the end of the year.
He doesn't
It's about
want to
30
be
years too
blamed
late.
for.
Yeah,
I'm
no
not
shit.
kidding.
That's pretty good, Harry. I like that a lot.
It's Carpa Dunctum, but I had to.
Oh, Carpe Donctum. Oh, that's what we have to do every time you mention Carpe
Save
Donctum.
everything.
Yes.
That
It
is
was
Now
funny.
another day in
easy to sit
history.
there and watch. Well, anyway, speaking of this day in history, Mikhail Gorbachev died, and I was taken back to the fall of the Iron Curtain, basically, in 1989. What happened between I guess, about January and November of 1989. You know, essentially the whole Soviet Union, the Cold War, the Iron Curtain came apart, and it was, you know, really the high point of it, I guess, was when the Berlin Wall came down in November of 1989. I remember sitting there watching TV, not believing what I was seeing. These people were swinging a piece of the Berlin Wall back and forth, you know, loosening it like a tooth.
Wasn't it wonderful?
It was, oh, I just had tears in my eyes the whole night. You know, I was just like, we're going to be okay. It's all going to be okay.
I wish Churchill would have seen it. And I wish, I very frequently wish Reagan had been in office for that.
Reagan was.
He was in office for that. There was a guy named Bush who was sitting there. That was Reagan's third term.
Yeah, I know, but you know what I'm saying. It was not officially on his watch, but that's okay. That's okay. Mikhail Gorbachev was an incredibly pragmatic man. He
didn't want to get killed in a revolution.
He didn't want to get killed in a revolution.
And he knew how that worked.
Yes, he did. And he also knew that the Soviet Union was coming apart at the seams. He was not, you know, Reagan.
That was behind his glasnost?
Reagan and he played a theater piece in front of the world at the SALT treaties because Gorbachev knew.
You talking about Reykjavik?
Yeah.
The Reykjavik meeting? Yeah.
Yeah. Gorbachev knew his ass couldn't be covered. I mean, he couldn't cover his ass. He didn't. And Reagan called the bluff, got up, walked off, and Gorbachev took that with great equanimity. And Reagan allowed Gorbachev to save face.
Can you imagine if Reagan had done that to Putin?
Putin would have lost his shit.
Yeah.
And it would have been
a whole different smoke.
It'd have been over quickly, though, because that would have been the end of Putin. As soon as he began raging and saying that
the party grown-ups would have come for him.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think a lot of people, I mean, Putin has a lot of power, but he does not have the money that has him in office has.
Yeah.
And that money does not want to evaporate in a cloud of smoke. And they would do unto him what he's done unto their enemies for them. In a New York minute. Raisa Gorbachev was a horrible human being. A genuine party faithful.
Party apparatchik is what she was.
Oh, yeah, she's a cutthroat cunt. And she hated the Reagans. It was
no mince words here.
How do you hate the Reagans?
She hated everybody.
She hated everybody. She probably hated him, and he probably hated her back.
Yeah.
Mikhail Gorbachev attended Ronald Reagan's funeral. That's all you need to know about how those men saw one another.
Did you see the? There's
He
a picture.
died.
There's a picture of Reagan and Gorbachev together, and they're both wearing white cowboy hats. They're out on Reagan's ranch, and this was probably a year or 2 years before Reagan really began to, completely lose his memory. You could see he's a little bit damaged even then, but you could see genuine warmth between these two guys. This was I won't say he was a great man, but he was a good man during great times, during momentous times, and he did the right thing. And I just wanted to say that in praise of Mikhail Gorbachev.
Oh, very much so.
He passed away today.
Yes.
Yeah, he passed away today.
May he rest in peace.
Rest in peace.
May your memory be a blessing. We know that it was for a good
thanks
long
for
while.
all the fish.
Yes.
And that also is going to bring us to the close of tonight's show. Does anybody have anything else that they just wanted to get out there? Something they wanted to broadcast publicly? Anything at all?
I think I will save my hot take on this topic for Saturday, because it will just take too damn long. If you're feeling up to it.
Because I want to say,
okay,
my final thoughts, I guess it's a sanguine thing. Even if you're not feeling if you have a chance to go and be with your friends, do it, because you'll never know when you won't have that chance.
Well, amen. That's good advice. Yeah.
And my husband should run for presidency, but he's not an American, so never mind.
Well, there's that. I think Harry ought to be president. I'm going to end it with
I'd vote for Harry. I'd vote for Harry.
At least it would be entertaining as hell.
Yeah, with my sense of humor. Yeah, right.
Can I be your chief of staff?
Yeah, countdown to scandal.
Excellent. Well, listen, thank you everybody for coming out and listening to me and the panel tonight. And thank you, panel, for hanging out with me here. Thank you, chat, for coming out and listening to us. Like to say hi to Badger and Assassin and all of our regulars who show up, Sunfish and Kiever Dam. Thanks for coming out and listening to us, Kashol, everybody. This has been fun for me. I'm just going to go a little bit shorter, try that for a while, but that's why the short show tonight. Thanks for coming out and listening to us. The zoo is closed. Good night, everyone.